So the kind of two main pieces of information you want to have on hand before you start your creation of like filling and setting up the tool, which will make it go a lot faster, is your circle dates. So I'm going to kind of skip step one of this around figuring out your circle dates and using the circle math calculator. And so imagine that this is work. These are actually the dates for Valor Circle next year. So we went through the same process that you guys all go through, which is looking at our calendars, figuring out when is the first circle, and then we're holding one circle per quarter as our kind of buffer circles. And so I put it in this format so that I can easily kind of copy and paste this right into the Badger tool. The other thing that you'll need on hand are your student rosters. And so these are actually just 2 grade levels at one of our middle schools. And you can see it will be easier if you put it in this following format, which is grade, student name in one cell. It can be a first name and a last initial, or the full student name. It's up to you. The one thing to just know is if you're a school in most kind of student facing documents, you use just student's first name, definitely include a last initial. And in some cases, you might have duplicate student names. So you might have 2 LSCs, right? You want to make sure that you differentiate, because what will happen is the tracker won't be able to tell that those are 2 different people, and it will get a little messed up. And so making sure that each student name is unique is really important. And then the mentor, and that can be in whatever format as long as it's consistent. So as long as we do last names, you could do Miss Davidson or Mr., like whatever, as long as it's consistent within just the mentor name. So every time I see Miss Davidson, I'd want it to be Davidson, so it's the same across. So you can see this is 5th and 6th. And that's what you'll need on hand. So going back into here, I'm going to just hide this sheet just so that there's fewer tabs. The first thing I'm going to do is go to my circle dates. And again, since I've already kind of prepared, I can just copy and paste. I can then delete these. Great. And we do not have many circles, so there's only kind of 30 full circles. Once I do that, I can hide that sheet. Again, you don't need to, but it can just help fewer tabs. And I'm hiding the circle math calculator because I kind of already done that. Oh, there's already fake data in here, so let me delete that real quick. So basically, what you have here is your summary data tab, which will look blank until you actually put data in. I'm going to skip the mentor view template for a second. And then this is the version where there's multiple grade levels. And so we have 2 different versions. One is you just put all grade levels on one tab. And so that is if you have under a certain number of students where it wouldn't be overwhelming to have multiple grade levels on a tab, or you only have 1 grade level. And so that's kind of up to you to figure out which version you want to use. At Valor, we use a version. We have for each school, about 130 students, 120 students per each grade level. And so we found that putting that all in one place is too much. And so we have separate grade level tabs. So that's how I'm going to set this up. The setup is the same. You just don't have to go to different tabs in the other version. Okay, so this is the grade level tab, and I'm going to make this 5th grade. And so what that means is I can go ahead and put in my roster for 5th grade into here. So I go to my rosters, scroll up, and let's just double check. Yep, it's grade, student name, mentor, grade, student name, mentor. So I can now scroll down to 5th grade. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste. And if you see this kind of bar over here on the right, that's just it's working. So there's a lot of formulas in this, and so just not giving it some time to breathe is always helpful. Once you fill in the cells that need to be filled in, they'll turn from yellow to white or gray. Great. anytime you see here, you can hide this. That's just so that visually you don't have as many columns, but it's up to you. So I can hide that. Great, I did 5th grade. I'm going to turn this into 6th grade. 6th grade. And again, I go back here. I copy my roster and I paste it in. For this video, I'm not going to go through all the grade levels, but if you had more grade levels, you would follow that process using the kind of grade level templates. Once you're at your grade level max, so let's say I actually only have 5th and 6th grade, do not delete these extra templates because that will screw up formulas because this template is made to accommodate more grade levels. So if you do not need them, just hide the sheets instead of deleting them. Hide that sheet. This is actually, you do not need that. So if you only have 2 grade levels, like you actually only need to set up those 2 tabs. Okay, so now what I can do is set up my mentor tabs and my badges. So for 5th grade, for all of these tabs, you can see in the badge names, like in column H, it's a drop down. And that's so you have kind of consistent names for badges and you don't have to type in the badges. Now to create the drop down, you're want to scroll all the way over to column AG. So here is where you can just type in the badges that students have to choose from. So let's say in my example, noble purpose is a badge. I'll just do disciplines, big heart. And true, let's say sharp mind. So let's say those are the only 3 badges people have to choose from in 5th grade. And then I would do the same for 6th grade. So I'd scroll over and let's just say it's the same. So I just copy and paste. Great. So once I do that, you can just check to see if it actually works. It should. And you can see now that's the dropdown. But we're not going to do that yet. So you've kind of set up each of those badges, each of those pages. The next thing you can do is create all of your mentor tabs. And so these tabs are meant to be supportive for mentors in looking at their upcoming circles instead of kind of a student by student way, which the grade level tabs do. This is like a circle by circle view. And so you'll see when you come to this, you should see the dates are the dates that you inputted on the circle setup tab. So that would all be done. And then you can see the directions here, which is fill in the mentor name in the yellow cell, exactly how it appears on the grade level tab. And then do not edit. So anything under row 2, those are all formulas. And so you want to make sure that people are not editing. Because you will need to grant edit access for the whole spreadsheet for your mentors, it's kind of up to you if you want to protect these pages. My understanding is when you duplicate a tab, the protections don't carry. So it is going to be a little tedious if you want to do that. But if you're worried about teachers accidentally editing that, you can do that. So I'm now going to go through and basically I need to create a tab for each of my mentors. So I'm going to just do 5th grade just so you can kind of see. So my first mentor is Davidson. So I would write Davidson. And then what I'm going to do is copy this. And so if you right click on the tab, you can see duplicate. And then I go here and I see, okay, my next mentor is Elkins. So I'm going to write Elkins. Rename this Elkins. Right. I do that for each of my mentors. So I know Skipworth. I can also see on the summary tab. Harris, Omweg, Phillips. Great. So duplicate Harris. Sure that the spelling of Phillips is correct. Yeah. Great. Okay. So I've now kind of done that. You would now do that for all of your mentors. But for kind of this version, I'm just going to do up to 5th grade. So when you click on these, no students will appear, but all the dates should be there. And you just want to double check. Yep. Every time I click on it, the mentor's name's here. If you wanted to, you could kind of hide this row if visually that feels better, but it's totally